Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands. True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, Anthony Joshua, Wladimir Klitschko, that was a fight that was supposed to happen. It fell through the cracks. Obviously, that would have been a massive fight over there in the UK because Anthony Joshua is a superstar over there. Klitschko was the guy at heavyweight for like the longest time until he lost his titles to Tyson Fury last year. But that's a fight that I still want to see. Hopefully it does happen. Eddie Hearn and K2, they can all make that work out. But here's Lennox Lewis. He recently did an interview, and he basically said that he thinks Klitschko would beat Joshua. And I'll read you guys the quotes, and we'll dissect it from there. So here's what the former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis had to say about this fight. He said, I quote, "I will have to say Wladimir will beat Anthony Joshua because of the experience. We've seen a lot of Anthony Joshua fights, but he's knocked everyone out. So I say, well, what has he learned? And where is the experience there? Wladimir almost has 70 fights. You've got the experience and the age and the old and the new and the strong. So which one are you going to take? I'll take the experience, but only slightly. You also have to look at Vladimir's body. Can Vladimir's body take more going into the ring in these fights? I don't know where he is at that level. We're going to have to see." Now, obviously, experience is a very important thing when it comes to boxing. I think it would even be a lot more experience as a heavyweight boxer due to the fact that in the heavyweight division, unlike most divisions, there's that whole one punch factor. These guys are big, strong guys. Everybody's big and strong. There is no weight limit. You can come in at 270 or 210 or 230. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you feel comfortable at, you can come in at, which is the difference between heavyweight boxing and the rest of the weight classes. Kind of like Mr. Boxing Today says, shout out to Mr. Boxing Today. He said that there's the heavyweights and then there's everybody else. And, Joshua's a guy that when you look at him, he looks like a freaking bodybuilder. The guy is huge. The guy is big. He's coming in with a good Olympic pedigree. Obviously good power due to the fact that he's been able to finish everybody they put in the ring with him. Some guys, the bums, but the names have been getting better. He stopped the Kevin Johnsons, the Charles Martin, Dominic Brazil, Dillian White. Good guys. I wouldn't say they're like A-level fighters or B-level fighters, but good names for this stage of his career, and he's shown the ability to finish. But Lennox is right. What has he learned? When you're because he's in a weird situation because Joshua really is still a prospect, but he has a title. So it's a unique they are unique circumstances, and as a prospect coming up, you do need to have those fights where guys can push you for round after round after round, and he hasn't really had that kind of fight yet. So with that being said, Klitschko would not just represent that; he would represent the first legitimate threat. Because Klitschko's a long, athletic, rangy guy. If Klitschko's popping that jab in his face and it's landing with precision. Does Joshua get discouraged? Does Joshua, fall through the cracks and get knocked out? We don't know. We haven't gotten that deep of a glimpse into his character as a fighter yet. So that's one reason I kind of wanted to see the Klitschko fight, because I wanted to know where Joshua was at in his career. Was he the goods? Was he somebody who that in his 20th fight, 21st fight, could he deliver a big statement win over a guy like Klitschko, who undeniably is a future Hall of Famer? Someone who I consider in the top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. I don't know. Obviously, I'm high on Joshua. I think Joshua's going to be a problem at heavyweight for many years to come. I think if you had to pick a guy who would rule over this division, your safest bet would be Joshua. And for a lot of reasons, because he has the Olympic experience, the power, he has the political power, because boxing isn't just in the ring, it's out the ring as well. And I believe that with Eddie Hearn behind him, he has the right team around him to get the right fights at the right time, which is just so important in boxing. So, I don't know, man. I want to see that fight. Hopefully they make it happen eventually. But Lennox Lewis thinks that Klitschko will beat Joshua, but like many people, he's not really sure how Vladimir's body is at this time. Now, I will say this. Vladimir's body has been breaking down. He pulled out of the Fury fight, but I've seen Wladimir train before. He trains right here in South Florida, not too far from where I live. I've been there in the gym watching him train in person. If there's one guy who at age 41, how old he is, 40, he's in his 40s now. If there's one guy at that age who could get his body in good shape and be prepared to win a fight of that magnitude against a young, strong, upcoming champion in Joshua, if there's one guy who could do it, I believe it's Klitschko. So hopefully, man, Eddie Hearn, all them guys over there, just make the fight happen, and we can finally figure out what Joshua is made of, and if Klitschko can have that one last great win on his resume, because he beats Joshua. I've said this many times. If he beats Joshua, he just go out on top, just like that. I mean, beat him, get the world titles, and retire. You go into the Hall of Fame as a top 10, in my opinion, top 10 undeniable greatest heavyweight of all time. But he's like 10th though, but still top 10. That's big. So let me know what you guys think. Lennox Lewis thinks that Wladimir Klitschko will beat Anthony Joshua. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Danian. So until next time, take care, guys.